The online dating scene for young men is fucked with a capital F. It's just not real. It's not real, guys. If you have an average physique, average height, good luck. Good luck on that shit, man. Like, we got to get back to meeting people. And at least if anyone listening to this is anything like me, I have a lot of success, but I meet girls in person in the bar. I'm not a good texter. I'm not. All that shit is bullshit. For a guy needs to swipe 300 times and maybe even liking chicks that he doesn't find desirable um, to get one match. I used to work with a girl at Peloton back in the day, and she's an average looking girl, she's cute, but she had the app for 2 days and had 1,200 matches and showed me. It's crazy, man. And it's all designed to get you to buy their memberships. So I just did a test recently where I delete, I'm an average looking dude. I'd say I'm relatively handsome, good looking dude, successful, mildly successful. I want to be more successful in the future. But, I deleted my Tinder and created a new one with a new email, and I got all sorts of matches, and then it slowed down after a day because they're trying to get, it's a monopoly like everything. They're trying to get you to buy the thing to see your likes. And even one time I bought Hinge Plus, and because I had 11 likes waiting, all 10 of the 11 were like AI bots. So it's bullshit. And it has a bad effect on young men's health. Because if you go to a bar on a Friday night, you put on your best clothes, maybe pop on some jewelry, put some cologne on. I keep portable cologne in my pocket. I got breath spray. Just do your best to make yourself presentable. Fresh shave, trim up your mustache, and just talk to a couple girls, If you talk to a couple girls, I'm sure they'll find you interesting. And who knows what happens from there. You can at least get the number, at the very least. But on the app, you might be a 7 out of 10 in person. On the app, you're like a 2 because it's all about just these trivial things such as your description, your bio, your height. Height plays a big factor. I'm 5'9". I have no insecurity in my height, but I know a lot of people have real issues with that where, you can't get offended because that's just the world we live in, but stuff in bios of like, hey, if you're below 6 foot, just swipe left. And it's detrimental for these young guys because these young men are thinking that they're not good enough and that they have no chance of getting an equally attractive girl when the reality is you could do better and beyond what you think, but you just got to get out there. The internet is not a real place. The dating apps are not a real simulation of, let's say you're at a bar and there's an 8 out of 10 and the only other people in the bar are these grizzled, battered and bruised 39-year-old or try even 59-year-old dudes playing pool. You're going to be a shining light. You're dimming your shine when you're on those apps. And honestly, deleting the apps has been a good choice for me because you got to go against the grain nowadays. There's nothing wrong with being old school. If you don't want to conform to this mindset of, well, my friend met his girlfriend on Tinder and my other friend met his girlfriend on Hinge. Man, so what? That's their thing. You got to figure out what works for you. And what works for me, and will probably work for a lot of people listening to this, is just get out there, man. Don't let these apps mess with you and bum you out because they're not a true representation of yourself and they're not a true representation of the options out there. And that's just my opinion on the fact of the matter. These apps suck and they're not good. Not good for young guys. And just don't use them. Don't use them. They'll lure you in. It's like soft. It's like a soft version of like PMO. Like it's exciting and stimulating, but unless you're low BMI and you put some shirtless photos on there like my buddy, you're not gonna have a lot of results. And if you do, it's gonna be, there's nothing wrong with this, but it's gonna be 300 to 400 pound girls, which there's nothing wrong with that. But you know, a real view of what your options are, you're not gonna know until you start putting yourself in situations. Everyone's scared. Everyone's afraid to put themselves out there. Get together a couple of your bros. Go out every Friday to a poppin' bar. I prefer dive bars where you can play pool and ping pong and darts. You want it to be low stakes. If you're in the club, you're kind of wasting your time. That's too high stakes. Music's so loud you can't even talk to a girl. This is the method. You gotta go to these dive bars. Go to these, at least here in San Diego, we got everyone and their third cousin has a freaking little indie band that's fucking shitty as fuck, but they play, and you gotta go to shit like that. We went to a goth rave night one night. That was fun. Met some chicks. Almost got them back to their pad. Not quite though. But the point of this video is these apps are detrimental for the young guys. And if you can, you really should not use them. It's not good, man. Peace and love.